Hey guys, and welcome back to the last recap on Tuesday. The other ones will be filmed on Wednesday because I don't want to overload you guys. I think 3 videos is enough in a day is enough to get through, I guess, all the recaps, and hopefully the recaps become more detailed and better as I get more of an understanding of the way the women are playing, I guess being just remembering names and even just trying to remember where they played, etc. I will get, obviously with more data, we get better understanding, etc. Watching more games, get better understanding. So, yeah, let's jump into the North Melbourne versus St Kilda game. 56-16 game. Wasn't the greatest, so yeah. Before we jump in, remember to like and subscribe, turn the notification bell on so you know when I upload, and let's get into the recap. So, as you can see here, Garner 120, absolute huge, is a fantasy pig in the end. Let me get rid of this ad, because we don't need a GoDaddy ad on there anyway. 120, 1 goal, 29 touches, and let me change this over to North Melbourne here. 2023, Season 8. Garner, 93%, absolute huge, and if we look at these, yes, you can see my trades are still there. Can I hide that so that I have more room? If we look at Garner here, midfielder, 1.3 mil. So yeah, Garner is one that I think I'm going to pass for the next little bit, but definitely looking at it and thinking this could be the move there. 120, 1 goal, 29 touches, yeah, huge. Riddell, 105, 29 touches as well, absolutely huge. And that, yeah, there was a lot of girls that are around that 1.2, 1.3 that did really, really well. Don't need that one. Looking for this one here. 1 million midfielders here. And you look at this and you go, look at all the midfielders that did well. You got Prasparkas, Davey, McDonald as well, around that 1.2 starter, 1.2 starter here. 1.32 for Garner and Hatter at the start originally, actually. Marinoff, 1.5. Went down a little bit. Bates in the million club already. Riddell in that 1.2. Swanson in that 1.2. Conti in that 1.2. Hatfield as well, doing well and scoring 100. So you had so many that went in the million club that went and scored really well. And really unlucky if you had any of these sort of girls here. The Parker, Lucas Rod, Drennan, Purcell, and Bowers and Hoskin didn't play. So will be interesting to see if to see the likes of how Prasparkas and like Bowers and how their price sort of intersects and seeing how that works. As if Bowers doesn't have a good game, it could be really interesting to jump on her in week 3 or something like that, off of like a Bonchi or something like that. As we just wait, we're just in a waiting game for these defenders. And the forward line obviously could be interesting as well if we can get. If I can get enough cash gen going, I mean, if I can get Nance Squean is going to be like 500k. If I can get her or 600k and Luke and get them up to the best forward in the comp, which seems to be no, I don't think Tooth Guard is too good is sustainable. So getting her up to a Morrison in the end could be huge. I could do that potentially in a week because I don't think Morrison has too much cash gen available to her, whereas I think Luke does. So getting her up to her could be huge as well, because Luke could go up to 700k and then I'd need to gap 300k through, or 350, 400k through Davies and Nansquean, which would be tough, but I think it's doable, especially since Nansquean did jump 130k and could easily put up another 68, which would probably jump her another 140, 150k. And that would get her, that would help her to get, I guess, up, as well as Hoare against Sydney could do well. But Davies against Melbourne could do well as well. And one of those two is needed just to jump up. So yeah, hopefully I can combine two of the bench products here, as well as Luke, and get up to the likes of a Morrison in week 3. That could be the plan, as that would not only complete my ruck department, it would complete my midfield, my forwards completely, and pretty much complete my midfield other than Bonchi up to Prasparkas probably, or a Bowers, or a someone like that in the last game, but in the last couple of rounds, but we'll get to that. Obviously back now, or a Garner or a Riddell, someone like that. Now moving back to this game, because I like to sidetrack quite a lot in these. King 88, Carney 75, really good, one of the best defenders, and I think she is. If we look at the defenders here again, sidetracking a little bit, you got Stratton here who could be one to look to next week. To be honest, if she does put up another good performance, another 90 odd, and then just trying to flip Thomas up to her could be interesting. And then you've got Priest, but yeah, 3 of the top, 5 defenders. And then you've got, obviously, Thomas didn't do well, and Heads is down here a little bit, and McDonald. So yeah, just a little bit, I guess, annoying in the end that Thomas did, had a blood, so she had to come off, as well as getting stuck on the interchange for the last quarter pretty much, so she had such a low time on ground. But yeah, I think Carney is at 60% is pretty much undoubtedly needed by most people, as she will be one of the top 5 defenders, I think. Rennie, 71, Bresnan, Gat, King, O'Loughlin, Smith, Randall, Sherlock, Gavass, Shannon. None of these girls will really matter too much, to be honest, at this low fantasy points output. Then for St Kilda, you had Xenos 80, Priest 77, Sturt, Vesely, Nader. The really thing that sucked about this game was that it's so low scoring fantasy wise that you really, especially for St Kilda, there probably are some gems there in Smith and stuff like that, but it just really didn't show out. They really did just suffer with low fantasy points, and getting behind the break-even game, it really does seem that it's going to hurt in the next 2 or 3 weeks, this game, for St Kilda, for their players, and also, I guess, in a sense, some of the North Melbourne players not getting getting the best fantasy score, because they're falling behind the curve. I mean, you had a difference of 39 between Nansquian and Smith, and that's already gapped it by 118k or whatever, and that could make it, if they score the exact same score, I'm going to say that Nansquian's going to go up more than Smith, and that's just going to further the gap, and the gap is going to keep on growing and growing and growing. So I'd look at it like this is really going to hurt these girls, and yes, probably actually is going to be a shorter video, because I don't think a lot of the St Kilda girls are going to matter too much, to be honest. They didn't look like a strong outfit, and it seems to me that the girls in the stronger teams really are valuable in the AFL fantasy women's. And it doesn't really look like they have a strong midfielder. Xenos doesn't look reliable. And I think she is she a midfielder or is she a forward, Xenos? She's a forward. If we look at the CBAs, I think you'll find that also she didn't get any CBAs. St Kilda here, you look here, Xenos didn't get any CBAs. It was Nalda, Priest, Lambert, Smith. If we look here, Priest 77, so that'll be interesting. Priest, I believe, was Priest a defender. Priest could be one to look at. Watch out for Priest and Stanton as defenders, as they have that midfield role. So it could be interesting that getting Heads, Thomas, or Cordner up to those two, as it seems like they are the best. Just got to watch out for crazy price differentials, I guess. And so, yeah, that pretty much is the video. And I guess if I go back to this screen, I will see you guys in the next one. A little bit shorter video, but yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video, which is Brisbane versus Richmond, which I'll probably have to record later on Tuesday. And then you've got Sydney, GWS, and Fremantle, West Coast. So that is the video, and I'll see you guys then. Bye, guys.